Please all rise for the opening of the 17th regular session. Honorable Renzo Tamplaneva Jr. presiding.
The 17th regular session is now called to order. Mr. Secretary, please call the roll and determine if there is an existence of quorum.
Honorable Rafael Zuniga, Honorable Nelby Torado, Honorable Giovanni Balmadrid, Honorable Natalia Popa Jr., Honorable Robert A. Fernandez, Honorable Edwin Tanael, Honorable Santos Visafe, Honorable Camille Dicua, Honorable Carlo Magno Guerrero I, not yet around, Honorable Alan S. Levalio. Sir Presiding Officer, we have 10 members present for today's regular session, therefore we have a quorum to transact official business.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary. The Honorable Rafael C. Zuniga will lead the invocation, to be followed by the singing of the Philippine National Anthem in Inang Katandungan, the recitation of PBM LP Creed.
Let us pause for a while, bow our heads, and feel the presence of the Lord. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit, amen. Heavenly Father, thank you for the gift of life. Thank you for all the blessings that you shower upon us every day. Thank you for the protection from the crisis we are experiencing today. Let your Holy Spirit come and protect us, especially our leaders, our presiding officer, our families and friends. Protect also our health workers, frontliners, and fighting against this virus. Give our people the strength to fight this COVID-19 virus and free them from fear and anxiety. Give them hope, give them comfort, strengthen their faith. And lastly, Father, we ask you to enlighten our minds and soften our hearts to understand the issues and concern that will bring light and hope to our people. This we ask through Christ our Lord. Amen. In the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Mga kababayan, ang pambansang awit ng Pilipinas.
Bayang mahirap, lalas ng silanganan, alam na puso, sa atin mo'y buhay. Lupang hinirap, kulang ka ng mag-ibig, sa manluluhin, di ka pasisiin, sa lalahat bundok sa simoy at sa langit mong buka. May hilagang tula at awit sa paglayang minamahal. Ang isla ng watawan mo'y tagumpay na nagsinilig. Ang bituin ng araw niyang kailan pa mo'y di magdidilig. Lupa ng araw na luwal ating pagsinta, buhay ang langit sa piling mo. Ang ligaya laban may mga ating ang mamatay lang dahil sa'yo.
PB Melpic Reed. I am a provincial board member, given the mandate to serve my constituency through the responsible, responsive, and effective legislation, provide dynamic leadership, promote and maximize the delivery of basic services under a regime was truly consultative and participative democracy. I impose upon myself the supreme obligation to perform and carry out the functions prescribed by law, unselfish and with utmost dedication,
thereby becoming a enduring catalyst of change in the locality in our nation. Thank you, Honorable Rafael Zuniga. We also acknowledge our friends from media. We now proceed to item number 6, reading in consideration of previous minutes. Mr. Secretary.
Mr. Presiding Officer, first, the minutes of the 15th regular session held on April 13, 2020 were already distributed to all members.
The Honorable Natalie Pupa, you are recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Presiding Officer. Motion to adopt and approve the minutes of the 15th regular session of the Sangguniang Panlalawigan of the Province of Catanduanes held at the Session Hall, Legislative Building, Provincial Capital, Vira, Catanduanes, last Monday, April 13, 2020. So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Any second? There's a motion to adopt and duly seconded. Is there any observation, comment to the previous minutes? The chair is none. The said motion is hereby approved.
Mr. Presiding Officer, the minutes of the 16th regular session held on April 20, 2020 is still pending with the Board Secretary. Therefore, we respectfully request for the deferment of its consideration, Mr. Presiding Officer.
The Honorable Natalie Pupa, you are recognized.
To defer the consideration of the 16th regular session of the Sangguniang Panlalawigan.
Any second? There's a motion to defer and duly seconded. Any objection, comment, observation to the previous minutes? The chair has none. The said motion is hereby approved. We now proceed to item number 7, reading of communications. Mr. Secretary, please read.
Under reading of communications, we have a letter dated April 21, 2020 of the Acting Governor, addressed to the Acting Vice Governor and SP members through the Secretary to the Sangguniang, forwarding for SP's appropriate action the draft letter of agreement to be entered into for and on behalf of Baras Medicare and Community Hospital with the Philippine Business for Social Progress to facilitate the workup of its patients to any available accredited laboratory.
The Honorable Santos Sabi, you are recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Presiding Officer. May I request that this letter communication be calendared for first reading for today's session.
First reading.
With the resolution authorizing the acting provincial governor, Honorable Shirley Abondo, for in and behalf of the provincial government of Catanduanes to enter into an agreement with the Department of Health, CHDB call for the implementation of Health Facilities Enhancement Program.
I would suggest to the proponent that it should be lodged under privilege hour, during privilege hour.
Okay, thank you.
You can put it to motion for insertion. We now proceed to item number 8, privilege hour.
Mr. Presiding Officer, we still have one more item under reading of communications.
The Honorable Santos Sapi,
We still have one more item under reading of communications, Mr. President.
please read.
We received on April 24, 2020 at 12 noon the supplemental budget number 03-2020 of LGU of Baras Catanduanes, Mr. Presiding Officer.
Appropriation Committee.
Number items under reading of communications.
And now the Chairman Committee on Health, Honorable Santos Sapi, you are recognized.
Thank you. The motion for insertion for this regular session, a resolution authorizing the acting provincial governor, Honorable Shirley A. Abondo, for in and behalf of the provincial government of Catanduanes to enter into the agreement with the Department of Health CHD Bicol for the implementation of Health Facilities Enhancement Program for
First reading.
reading.
The calendar under first reading.
Thank you.
Mr. Secretary. Another, the Honorable Jibari Balmadrid.
May I move, Mr. Presiding Officer, that it be included in our today's session under committee report. Dito, committee report on appropriation, the annual budget of San Andres and annual budget of Virac.
For
Committee report.
under committee report, Mr. Secretary. Any other, the Honorable Alan Del Valle.
Thank you, Mr. Presiding Officer. I would like also to move for the inclusion of Municipal Resolution number 2020-04-11 of the Sangguniang Bayan of Virac, referred to the Committee on Justice. This is an ordinance authorizing the local government unit of Virac, represented by Honorable Simporoso Sarmiento Jr., for the establishment of a special account in the general fund for the Bayanihan grant to cities and municipalities for inclusion under committee report, Your Honor.
Under committee report,
Thank
Mr.
you.
Secretary. The Honorable Edwin Tenail, you recognize.
May I be allowed to use the podium?
You please use the podium. Do you have a copy of that?
Yes, I have a copy.
Please provide the members.
Where's the copy? Luya man eh. Dating padangat acting vice gobernador as in presiding officer, kapwa ko miyembros kanhunta probinsyal, estimadong katandunganon, banwanin man la Dios, Diyos maray na aldaw. Minatubang ako sa Indo sa question in personal na pribilehiyo. Labisan sa kong kamunduan, lugo-lugo o hinanakit. Sa anunsyo na sa tong isla, day nakabali sa mga probinsyang kwalipikadong isairarom sa General Community Quarantine pagsamput kay ning katapusanin bulan na Abril. Bagkos, pinalawig pa ang quarantine isiguro sa mga harong kan mga syudadano hanggang Mayo 15 ngunya na taon. Sa sakong pakaaram, ginibo man kan sangguniang panlalawigan ang gabos na lehislasyones, kahagadang pinansyal, asin mga lakdang sa panginginot kan mahigos asin veteranong acting vice gobernador Lorenzo Bolotoy Templo Nuevo Jr. na matugunan ang mga pangangaipo para sa proteksyon, kaayusan, asin karahayan kan satong namumutang islang katandungan laban sa nakakatakot na paglakop nin mikrobyo na minakitil kan buhay digdi sa tong nasyon asin bilog na kinaban. Habo ko nang danyusan, tauhanin komentaryo, ibasol ang mga ehensya na iyukutanaan mataw sa to nindatos kaliwanagan, katrangkiluhan, paglaom, ikaburunyugan. Alagad patawadon man lugod ako sa sakong personal na sentimiento asin impresyon dahil pagtubod ko minaluwas na natauhan tapa nin kaaditan ang bilog tang kaprobinsya, mga paryentes sa bilog na nasyon ikinaban, por dahil na lamang sa napabarita manungod sa kamugtakan kan pasyente na pinagnaranan kan Bicol Código ID numero 25 na nagpositibo subuot sa kinatatakutan na COVID-19 pandemic. Naukag ang bilog na probinsya. Natakot ang satong mga tugang nayaon sa luwas kan satong isla, maging digdi sa satong nasyon o sa ibang lado nin mundo. Gulping takot, kandalan, asin sari-saring komentaryo sa social media ang pinaabot kan satong mga pobreng kababayan. Maging bilog kong pamilya, ako, day na matunong sa pag-isip sa kamugtakan ni pasyente 25 kung ano ang magiging danyos, perwisyos kung sakaling totoo ang napabaritang mikrobyong nakalaog sa tong islang matrangkilo. Dahil ay kumbinsido, ikomportable ang sa indong lingkod, 10 kan sa inyang kairibahan sa Hunta Provincial. Hinagad ta sa mga nanunungdan kan Abril 20 durante kan regular na sesyon kan SP. Natabi, otrohon ang laboratorio, i-retest o riswab, tanganing maaraman sa madari ang tunay na pangyayari, kamugtakan asin pagbabago kan pinagsusuprer na dakulang dagok sa buhay, katakod na ang supog kan pamilya ni pasyente Bicol Código numero 25. Salamat sa mga nangadji, mga nag-ayuno, mga frontliner sa isla, urog ng gayo sa mahal na Diyos, sa resulta na pinaabot kan Center for Health Development Bicol kan Abril 24 presenting taon. Idiniklara si pasyente Bicol Código numero 25, sarong 63 anyos na Pilipina kan Vera Catanduanes na saro ng negatibo. Entonces, libre na sa anumang sakit i-virus dara ni COVID-19. Kaput ko tabi ang dokumento. Viva Catanduanes, mabuhay ang mga Katandungenyo. Mabuhay ang islang paraiso sa Pasipiko. Mapa sa Diyos ang gloria sa ngaran kan sa tong kagurangnan na sinkagtubos na si Hesus Kristo. Ngunyan, maliwanag na sa tong mga isip, klarado na sa tong kadlagan sa mga pangamba. Kaya minsan kita maglakaw sa tahaw nin kaawagan kan sa tong isla dahil nakitang matatakutan dahil sa virus kita negatibo na. Kung padagos tang babantayan ang sa tong mga baybayon, magtarabangan kitang kombinsyon ang sa tong mga paryentes, mga tugang, amigos y amigas, mga namumutan sa buhay na nasa Manila, na dahi naman ng natabi magpuwersang lumaog sa islang Katandungan, mientras golpi pang banta ikasuning virus sa kadakulaang Luzon, dahi naninrason ngata dahi tanduyugan ang inot ng pangapudan ni PBM Alan Del Valle na sa kung kamatidang sinusuportahan bilang ekonomista. Let us conquer COVID-19, free our people, guard our seizure. Lugod, day na pagtawaan ninda kulang kulor, isyo asin batikos, anduang doktor asin sarong magiting na bugado na luminaog sa tahaw nin sa tong kahagasan dahil apuera sa kaiputaan serbisyo kan mga doktor sigon sa dokumento malinig ang sa indang permiso i-koordinasyon sa mga checkpoints kung kaya malibyano sindang nakalaog sa isla. Matapos tang timbangon ang mga pangyayari, pag-adalan ang mga datos, tanawon ang proyeksyones sa futuro kan seguridad sa salud, ekonomiya kan sa tong isla. Kon pagkakanigoon, hagadon, panahonang hagadon ta sa satong mahal na Presidente Rodrigo Roa Duterte, sa paagi kan Interagency Task Force for the Management of Emerging Infectious Diseases, na isairarom ang probinsya nin Catanduanes sa General Community Quarantine susog sa mga kondisyones, kabutan, reglamentos y supervisiones kan liderato nasyonal. Considering the above cited premises, Mr. Presiding Chair, my dear colleagues in this august chamber, may I move for the inclusion in today's agenda the following resolution to wit in support to PBM Alan's resolution. A resolution submitting an appeal to His Excellency President Rodrigo Roa Duterte through the Interagency Task Force for the Management of Emerging Infectious Diseases for the inclusion of the province of Catanduanes in the General Community Quarantine Scheme in the country. Number 2, a resolution cordially requesting the Catanduanes Lone District Representative Congressman Hector S. Sanchez to support the appeal of the provincial government of Catanduanes to His Excellency President Rodrigo Roa Duterte through the Interagency Task Force for the Management of Emerging Infectious Diseases for the inclusion of the province of Catanduanes in the general community quarantine scheme in the country. The same resolution to be numbered number 3, Mr. Presiding Officer, is a request to Congressman Jose J. Teves Jr. of party list TGP party list. And finally, let the Philippine National Red Cross Catanduanes chapter and the Philippine National Police be included among the agencies to submit their plans, programs, and the status of accomplishments in connection with the COVID-19 pandemic situation in the province of Catanduanes and be numbered accordingly in line with other national agencies included in today's agenda. I move that PNP be numbered 14A and Red Cross be numbered 14B. So move.
Three resolution to be included under first reading, Mr. Secretary. Is there any observation to the previous speech? The Honorable Santos Api, you are recognized.
This is just some information to what I know as a medical practitioner. By the record, I don't have any question or about the resolution passed by our PBM from PBM Tanael. But to what I know as medical practitioner, it's not only that the island has no COVID positive consequence or our patient number 25 test turned from positive to negative. But other criteria are that still the province don't have a fully ready or capable facility or hospital to admit and manage COVID patients, especially the serious cases that needs ICU admission. Yan ang kinatatakutan natin kung mag-relax tayo at magkaroon tayo. And recently, yesterday, my wife told me na merong driver si Sampag na inaasikaso nilang dahil merong mga symptoms. A truck driver from Manila. And also, as what our acting governor been saying, nahihirapan tayo sa quarantine facility. Kaya nga ang satuyang mga tugang na nasa Tabaco, still at sa ibang probinsya, nahihirapan ipapunta dito kasi walang mapupuntahan. So maybe it's those are things na dapat natin i-consider pa para fully, I think we can ask for the GCQ in our province. Thank you.
Thank you. So, the Honorable Alan Del Valle, you are recognized.
Before PBM Del Valle, can I make a few reactions?
Is that related?
Yeah, this is related to the manifestation made by PBM Tanel. And also relative with the statement just mentioned by PBM Safai.
I'll make reaction after that.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Although I fully agree with the sentiments of the gentleman from Baras, but I also disagree with his statement that we no longer look deeper into the reasons why Catanduanes was not included among areas under general community quarantine. We should know. We should understand. The Sangguniang Panlalawigan members should know the reasons why we were not placed under general community quarantine. Here are additional questions that must be answered by our responsible officers in the province, particularly the health professionals, especially those at the PHO and at EBMC. Number one question, Your Honor. I hope the gentleman from Baras will heed to my statement. Number one is Catanduanes truly and really COVID-free? If not, how many are COVID positive as of today? How many are PUIs and PUMs? And second, as mentioned by PBM Safe, how is the readiness of EBMC in its facilities in the management of COVID patients should we have one or more? Second, we should understand the action plan of the ABMC to address COVID negative, COVID positive patients. And of course, in support to PBM Tanael, I am also contemplating of filing a separate, although this is similar to what you have mentioned, a resolution urgently calling the President to reconsider Catanduanes and be included among areas under general community quarantine. But before all this, Your Honor, is satisfied, we really have to understand the reasons. Because as mentioned again by PBM Safe, that there is one patient admitted at GMA Hospital, which is being managed now by the health personnel at GMA Hospital. Why is it sent to GMA? Why not ABMC? Are we refusing? Is ABMC refusing admission of patients with COVID-related symptoms? If so, why? Why are they refusing? Taga-taga-taga pa sa Kalulbon. We do not have the facilities.
So,
these things must be answered, Your Honor. That's why I have requested the acting governor to please invite the chief of the ABMC, the PHO, Dr. Hazel, to be present in this session to answer all our questions, because this will be the very reasons to be included in our resolution. We need to convince the President that we be placed on general community quarantine. If we do not have the vital reasons, the compelling reasons to convince the President that we be included in the general community enhancement quarantine, I think general community quarantine. If we will not be if we do not have sufficient basis, our efforts will be just in vain. So we need to be complete with our reasons, with our basis, with our data. And only the personnel from the health department in the province, the ABMC in particular, can provide us with all the answers to our questions. Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you. Anyway, we have here the presence of the Chief of Hospital, Dr. Abelia. So when we come to question hour, that's the time that we can raise our...
Can I just make
continue.
one reaction? I understand the predicament of the two gentlemen, that there are several factors to be considered. But my view is within the level of a member of the Sangguniang Panlalawigan. My belief is that everything was given to the executive. All the financial requests were given. It's not our duty, therefore, to look into all these things. And this is part of the IATF local to know what are the different levels or the different what's that? Yung kailangan para ma-qualify ang isa into a general community quarantine. So as far as I know, through the leadership of our acting governor, everything was given. Lahat ng mga financial request was given. So, ang bola hindi na sa atin. So we are requesting for an appeal to the President that Catanduanes be placed under general community quarantine because it's not only the health, but it's only economics is in question. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other insertion? The Honorable Robert Fernandez, you are recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
We acknowledge also the presence of our acting governor.
Good morning, ma'am. For insertion under first reading, resolution urging all municipal chief of police through the Police Provincial Director Colonel Paul Abay to strictly implement the no license and no motor registration, no travel policy in all the checkpoints in relation to the implementation of the enhanced community quarantine. For inclusion under first reading,
Under
Mr.
first
Chair.
reading, Mr. Secretary.
Thank you.
Any other? No more? The privilege hour is now closed. We now proceed to item number 9, question hour. Do we have a visitor? Mr. Secretary.
Although there is nothing in the agenda regarding the question hour, Mr. Presiding Officer, but present here in today's regular session is the Chief of Hospital of the BMC, Dr. Beatriz Abella.
1 minute recess. Paki-consider for Abilia. Please come forward, Dr. Abilia, and have a seat. The Honorable Natalie Popa, you are recognized. There's a motion to suspend the rules. In a second, serious na the said motion is hereby approved. The Honorable Alan Del Valle, you are recognized for some clarification to our Chief of Hospital.
Yes, thank you very much again, Your Honor. I am happy that the acting governor is also around and that the chief of the BMC has heeded to my request from the governor that she be invited in today's regular session. Mr. Presiding Chair, let's put everything in the right perspective. The resolution of PBM Tanael will be submitted to the Office of the President because it has to be the Office of the President through the interagency task force that will consider the original decision of including Catanduanes among areas under general community quarantine. But of course, our resolution must be supported with facts. Our reasons must be supported with data acceptable enough that we qualify in the criteria of areas to be included under general community quarantine. And so therefore, the presence of Dr. Abella this morning is vital so that we will, from her pronouncement, we will draw our resolution. Number one question, Your Honor, please. How true that ABMC refused the patient from Iraq who happens to be a driver of Sampag and was referred to GMA Hospital in San Andres. How true is this?
Madam Dr. Abilia, please answer.
Hello. Good morning po sa lahat. So there is an allegation that EBMC refused the admission of this patient. So ang ano po, there are guidelines on what level of hospital care is needed by a patient.
So it is true that you did not admit.
Because properly, that patient should be admitted in a level 1 facility.
Why?
Meron pong I will refer you to the DOH and DILG circulars regarding dito po sa COVID management. So sa COVID management, meron pong quarantine facility for those coming from yung dating
No. Yeah,
PUM.
let's go. Let's not go further. Let's confine, because I understand our problem is with our facility. We are not ready to accept and manage COVID positive patients. That's my understanding. Unless you will prove me wrong. Unless you will prove me wrong. The first question is, how true that you refused? Let's not go into guidelines that it should be referred to level 1 hospital, because even EBMC cannot refuse a level 1 patient or a patient to be considered in a level 1 hospital.
So,
Because doing that is a refusal.
Please answer directly,
So
Dr.
ganito
Amelia,
po,
the question of,
this patient, ang tinatanggap po ng EBMC based on an agreement reached by the health facilities nung January pa, ang tatanggapin po ng EBMC ay yung moderate to severe symptoms. The rationale for this is, hindi po, we only have 6 beds allocated for the isolation. Na po, 6 beds and 1 ICU bed with a ventilator. So kung tanggap po kami ng tanggap ng mga pasyente na hindi naman po papasok sa moderate to severe, pag moderate to severe na po, wala na kaming espasyo. Actually, for how many days in the past week, napuno po kami. Right now, we are decontaminating 2 rooms. Kaya we cannot accept until these rooms have been decontaminated.
Excuse me, Doktora.
Yes po.
Please answer muna, yes or no. Para kung no,
we suggested,
ipaliwanag mo.
yes po, so we
Ipaliwanag mo
suggested
kung
this
ba't hindi niyo
patient,
tinanggap.
yes po,
Ano
we
ba?
suggested,
Yung question muna, yes or
po.
no?
We suggested this patient
No.
be admitted to a level 1 facility.
You did not deny admission.
Yes, we did not deny, no.
You referred it to
Yes po.
GMA because according to you, the patient doesn't manifest symptoms of moderate to severe.
Yes.
Okay. What if few days from admission, few days after admission at GMA, the patient will manifest serious to moderate to serious symptoms? What will happen?
The process is referred to us.
Look at that.
Yes po.
Instead of you managing the patient, because as I said, you are not allowed to refuse patients. Even patients who are supposed to be admitted in a level 1 hospital, once they come to your hospital, you should not refuse. You should accept. You should not refuse. If you refuse, that's punishable by law. Is that correct?
May I answer? And this will be a long answer for you to understand that guidelines were put in place precisely for us to follow. And according to the guidelines, pag quarantinable o quarantine, pag mild symptoms, pwedeng doon lang sa isang, yung sinasabing COVID ligtas na ngayon CNHS, pag ang sintomas niya hindi pa moderate, do not put it in EBMC. Yun po ang guidelines. So we are following these guidelines.
We are not even sure if the manifestation is really COVID-related. Kung nagtrangkaso lang na hindi naman pala COVID-related pero tinatanggihan nyo.
Hindi po, the guidelines and even the hospitals know this. Ang EBMC being a level 2 facility should be properly admitting only for level 2 kasi po.
So you have that,
yes po,
because of that guidelines, your hospital is allowed to refuse patients.
Kailangan may proper coordination po.
Oh.
And this patient, actually po, this patient was coordinated with me by Dr. Banghoson. And sinabi ko po sa kanya na ganon. And after that, hindi na po niya ako binalikan. So, we did not know kung saan napunta yung pasyente. Basta, yun po ang sinabi sa akin.
Okay, second question.
Okay.
Although I am not satisfied with your answer. Why is it that there are only 6 beds available in the hospital? Before, I understand, you have 19 beds. Why suddenly reduce it to 6?
So, ganito po, no? So, the 19 beds is the total number of rooms available at the private wards. We have 2 wards, no po? East Wing, West Wing. So, nung nagplanning kami initially, no, we should also provide an accommodation for the staff kasi po ang staffing pattern is 5 days po silang nag-duty. So kailangan po silang merong tutulugan doon. So dinesignate namin one wing for doon ilalagay yung mga isolation patients. And another wing, yun po yung tutuluyan ng mga doktor, nurse at iba pang staff. Doon po sa one wing na yon, naglagay na rin po kami ng operating room at ng delivery room because we recognize na pwedeng may mga kasong darating na possible COVID tapos kailangang operahan o kailangang ipaanak. So meron na rin po yon. Tapos we provided for the staff. Ngayon po, I clarified this with the nursing service. Kung magdagdag tayo ng isa pang kama, 2 kama, 3 kama, kaya pa ba yun ng nurse? Iisa lang po ang nurse every duty, which is 12 hours. Na po?
I do not understand
Yes po.
your wisdom. Why prioritize the accommodation of doctors in lieu of possible patients? Anong klase yan? Mas pinagbibigyan nyo pa ng kwarto yung mga doctors kaysa sa pasyente. Dapat pasyente muna. And then you can, of course, you have your own mechanisms on how to protect your doctors kung saan sila titira.
Yes po.
Pero it's not necessary that the rooms of the hospital will be provided purposely as resting place or resting areas, pardon the word, resting areas for our doctors. Mantakin mo yun, dapat kwarto ng pasyente. Binawasan mo kasi gagawin mong kwarto ng doctors from 19 to 6 beds.
So, ganito po yung kasunod ng statement ko po. No? So, we met last week, kaming mga MANCOM, at yun po ang tinanong ko sa nursing service. If we add additional beds, how is the nursing service going to cope with this? Hindi na po nila mas makocope. Kasi po, once mag-duty po 5 days, they will be quarantine for 14 days. Ano po? So, ang words niya is mauubos na. Ubos na po sila. No? There is no exemption for those na nagjo-duty doon. Pero ngayon po, ang pinapag-usapan namin, yun nga, expansion. Kasi yun ang we are projecting na dadami. Kaya we will be meeting at papalitan po namin yung mga schedules.
Ano talaga yung tunay na kapaliwanagan mo? Bakit from 19 beds, ginawang 6? Ano talaga yung reason?
Kasi ganito po, nag-staging po kami. No? Ibig sabihin, staging po. Ibig sabihin, stage 1, ito muna, sige, ganito muna. Kung dumadami na, sige po, we will re-evaluate. Unang-una po yung aming staff complement. Kasi noon pa man, kulang na po talagang taga-EBMC. So staff complement. Number 2, facility. Take note, itong mga private rooms, hindi siya ideal as isolation. They are not negative pressure rooms. So we even have to make changes para nga maging compliant sa negative pressure.
Observation from the chair.
Yes po.
To the proponent, to the Honorable Alan Del Valle, can you request a written explanation to the Chief of Hospital with regards to that?
Okay, we can do it in the form of resolution, Your Honor. Requesting the Chief of Hospital to explain why suddenly the 19 beds allocated for COVID patients or would be COVID patients, resolution by the Sangguniang Panlalawigan, Your Honor, requesting the Chief of Hospital of BMC to answer us, enlighten us why the sudden reduction of bed capacity of 19 to 6 intended for COVID patients or would be COVID patients.
So what is now your suggestion to or recommendation to Dr.
Actually,
Abella with regards
because
to that?
I'm trying to establish, Your Honor, the impression that ABMC is not really ready to address and manage COVID-related patients. Kasi kung ganyan, hindi tayo mabibigyan, Your Honor, ng approval ng Presidente na isama sa General Community Quarantine. Kasi wala tayong alam. Hindi natin alam kung paano gagawin natin doon sa pasyente. Hindi natin alam. Mantakin mo yan na simple na pasyenteng piyakalintura na baka yung kalintura niya is based doon sa paghiga niya sa semento habang andun siya sa DSWD, ano bang kwan yun? Ano bang lugar yon? Yung o baka yung kwan lang naman yun doon na matagal mo tinatanggihan, dadalhin mo pa doon. And again, is San Andres much ready than the ABMC? Kasi baka talaga carrier yun, doon mo dinala. Mas ready ba yung Kalulubon kaysa sa ABMC? Look at these things, Your Honor. These are inconsistent things that should be properly addressed by the health sector. Otherwise, it would be a shame on our part asking the President to include Catanduanes under general community quarantine if we cannot convince the President. Nakakatawa tayo niyan, Your Honor.
So yung paliwanag ni Dr. Abilia,
it's not satisfactory, Your Honor. It's not satisfactory. Madami pa sana
acceptable sa'yo?
No. Hindi. Definitely no. Hindi ako naniniwala na yung statement niya noong una, I think the record will bear me out. Sinabi niya, 19, inadmit niya, 19 muna. Pero pinaglaanan niya rin ng kwarto yung mga doctors. Look at that.
So, paano yun, Doktora?
Ginawa mo yung 19, ginawa mong 6. 19 minus 6, ilan?
Plenary, hindi accept.
13? Ibig sabihin, mas malaki pa yung kwarto ng mga doctors kaysa sa kwartong ninalaan mo sa mga
So, let the
COVID patients.
Chief of Hospital Doctor...
No, he had been explaining a lot of things. Mga protocol, mga procedures.
Kaya nga, sabi ko, magkaroon siya ng written explanation si Doktora para mayroon tayong makita.
Actually, after my closing statement, Your Honor, will be a proposal for the passage of a resolution requesting the BMC Chief to explain to the Sangguniang why there was a sudden reduction in the bed allocation at ABMC for COVID patients from 19 to 6. Hindi kasi pwede yung mga gano'n na sinusunod na magbibigay kasi ng kwarto sa mga doctors. Ang hospital, pang pasyente.
Okay, so...
Diba? One more thing, Your Honor, please.
Please continue. Kasi yung iba parang may gustong tanong din.
I'll be quick. Can we also be furnished, Your Honor, by the ABMC head of the action plan? The action plan you have prepared, because I understand you must have. If you do not have, that's inefficiency. Pardon my statement. Please provide the members of the Sangguniang Panlalawigan through the acting Vice Governor a copy of your action plan to address, manage COVID negative, COVID positive patients. Can you please do that? Okay. And lastly, my last question, Your Honor. Is ABMC really ready? Is your facility or facilities ready to manage COVID patient, at least one patient? Can you manage that? Do you have the facilities?
The short answer is no.
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 My God. Talagang di kita makakuan. Di kita makakwalify. So why not? Despite, according to PBM Tanael, despite providing your office with all the assistance from the provincial government, providing your office with funds, everything, to address properly. All the way we were thinking that with all support that we have given to your office, everything will be fine. And now you're telling us that your facilities cannot address and manage a COVID patient. My God, sayang yung pundong binigay namin sa inyo. Pantakin mo yan, kahit isa, hindi kayo niyo pwedeng i-manage. That's all, Your Honor. Thank you.
So, may I answer that po, the question?
You will answer the question of...
Kung bakit no? Kasi I think all the other PBM should hear why not. So, considering that this has been...
I will give you 1 minute, Dr. Abilia.
1 minute lang. O sige po. Since January, wala pa po kaming delivery ng supplies para dun sa yung mga even just our regular patients. Yung gamot na matagal na rin po namin ni-request, hydrochloroquine, etc. Kahapon lang po ako tinext ni Dr. Hazel na available na daw sa PHO, an antiviral and I think vitamin C, zinc. Pero wala pa rin yung hydroxychloroquine, which is now what is recommended by DOH. We have given DOH the request since March 23. I was the one who personally made that request. So wala, supplies kagamitan wala po. PPEs, we get deliveries from PHO, 10 coverall. How many do we need? We need around 10 a day. It's 30. We need 30 a day coveralls. We only get sa PHO, not that I'm not blaming anyone, basta yun lang po ang allocation namin. We have yet to get from DOH, we have yet to get from all what we are using now are donations, private. So, sa supplies yun. Sa doktor, 2 lang po ang IM namin. Sa ngayon, lahat po sila ng mga doktor nagro-rotate sa isolation, including the ones who are 60 and above and who have comorbids. So, ang nire-request po, I just filled up a request from DOH about emergency hiring. I sent it. We do not have a specialist pulmonologist. We do not have a specialist internal intensivist. Wala po tayong specialist pulmonologist. Kulang po yung 5 naming doktor na hospitalist na po. So sa staff yun, kulang po ang nurses. Ang Respitec, iisa job order. Hindi po namin siya pwedeng ipapasok sa loob ng isolation, job order siya. Kulang po ang medtech, kulang po ang radiotech. So kulang po ang security guard, kulang po yung IW. Staff yun. Facility, wala po kaming negative pressure. So we are now admitting these patients at a very high risk to the staff and to the patients. So I will not say that we are ready just so we can lift the ECQ. Sorry.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Abilia. May I now call on the Chairman Committee on Health, Honorable Santos Api, for some questions with regards to the explanation of Dr. Abilia. Dahil lahat na pinaliwanag sa atin, Dr. Abilia, lahat kulang. So anong gagawin natin?
Thank you, Mr. Presiding Officer. Yes, I agree with Dr. Abilia. I personally observe and I see the situation at ABMC. And all other doctors connected with the ABMC and even in the private hospitals know the situation. Thank you.
The Honorable Edwin Tirail, recognize.
I have 2 concerns, Your Honor, please. Number 1, I said all the financial request was given, and the Sangguniang Panlalawigan believes that with all this money, ABMC will be fully ready to address our COVID patients, only to find out that nothing.
Mobility.
There are 4 parameters given as an outlined by IATF so that we will be qualified under general community quarantine. 1 is security, social, economic, and health. Sa 4 na ini, all the 3 ay kayatang pasaran. Sa health, na dinagdagan taning gulping kwarta dahil lugod. Now, what's your suggestion?
Please answer, Dr. Abilia.
So that, para din naman kami mapasupog, if we push our appeal that Catanduanes be placed under general community quarantine, kung sasabit lang tayo sa health, di na namin to ipapasa. What's your suggestion?
So, ito po, first of all, doon sa equipment namin, as far back as December, we had a purchase request for the mobile X-ray na hinahanap nga ng DOH. Nabinbin po yun, yung magde-deliver, hindi po na-deliver kasi nadada daw sa Malaysia, ngayon na ibalik na sa Japan. In short po,
sino po yung daw?
X-ray, andin po.
Sino po yung sinasabi mong dinala daw?
Yun pong supplier na I think na-approve na po ito. Pero sabi ng supplier, hindi po na, kasi since December, hindi pa po. Nung finalo up namin, bakit hindi pa na-deliver? Kasi po, yun pala nagkagulo because of the COVID. So in short po, we only have 1 X-ray unit. So right now, this X-ray unit, we are now using for the possible infectives. Wala po kaming X-ray na nagagamit sa regular patients. So yun po, number one, walang x-ray. We don't have an ultrasound unit para sa mga, kung gagamitin sa infective, pati sa non-infective, iisa lang po ang ultrasound unit namin. Sa mga kagamitan, we should have a regular supply na of the PPEs for our projected needs of 30 a day. And the mga masks, surgical masks for the staff, which is 300 pieces a day, translating to 9,000 pieces a month. Na po. PPEs po yun. Yung mga gamot po namin, dapat ma-deliver na. Because even for the regular, ngayon po meron ng bagong ebidensya, 30% of pregnant women are COVID positive. So may additional layer na naman kaming gagawin of protection for our staff. Wala pong, ang pinakamagandang testing is the swab testing. We are being limited sa dami ng pasyenteng inadmit namin na toxic. Only one patient was swabbed. Patient 25. After that, hindi na kami pinaswab. I know they are following guidelines, but until we don't have this swab testing, how can we say for sure na ito COVID, ito hindi? For our protection, iisipin ko na lang, COVID na lang lahat. So we will protect our staff because my priority now is zero casualty for EBMC staff. Hindi po, I hope hindi po mangyari yung nangyari sa ibang lugar na nagsasara ang ospital. And what I'm doing now, sorry po, PBM Alan, you may not understand it, but kung makalusot ang EBMC na walang ni isang mapipinsala na staff, that for me will be my success. We will exercise all caution. The priority now, because of this COVID, unfortunately, hindi na po patient-focused. It is already focused on the healthcare worker. Wala po dapat magkasakit, wala po dapat mamatay na healthcare worker, hindi lang sa EBMC, sa buong Catanduanes because of this COVID. And I hope, kaya yun po, we need all those things. At marami pa, yung facility po, we already made proposals kung paano i-convert yung rooms. I think each room will need something like 160,000 to be converted into a negative pressure room. So yun po, we will submit it with the action plan. Kasi po, tapos yung staff complement. We need 4 more teams of natitingin para sa, if we want the 19 beds to be used, we will prepare the staff complement. Do we need 100 people to maintain these 19 beds? Then I will submit that proposal.
Madam Resource, I'm not too technical on that. But we are only given 3 days to prepare ourselves so that if possible, we can include ourselves in the general community quarantine. Can we do that in 3 days?
Yung proposal, the proposal we can submit.
Para ma-qualify tayo na we are health ready in facing this pandemic. In 3 days, can we do that? Given all the money that we share, we approve in the Sangguniang, can we do that in 3 days? Dahil kung di man sana, masupog man ay pasarmi ang proposal mi. Dahil kasusupog mi. Pasado kita sa security, pasado kita sa social, pasado sa economics. Pag-abot sa health, if we fail, kasusupog mi. So, this is my challenge to our health personnel. Can we do that in 3 days? Prepare our health facilities that we can now say that we are ready to accept any patient in connection with COVID.
Please answer, Dr. Abilia.
I think that question should be properly addressed to not just me. Kasi po, marami pong compliment na from the MHOs. And I've been hearing complaints from them. Ayoko na pong ako magsabi na. I think you should hear it from them.
Pwede mong sabihin mo para malaman din namin.
Yung mga MHOs, actually, since March na na-mobilize sila, yung mga births, pagod na po sila. Malapit ang may bumigay dyan, yung mga MHOs. Because they're the ones. Yes po. Yes
so
po.
I would suggest PBM Tanail, to the Chairman Committee on Health, to please call for a committee, maybe a meeting with the health officials para magkaroon tayo ng action plan kung ano talaga ang dapat gawin ng Catanduanes. Kasi lahat na narinig ko, walang kakayahan talaga ang EBMC. Walang kakayahan na probinsya. sakaling mayroong COVID positive ulit. So saan tayo pupunta ngayon? Ano ang gagawin natin?
Now, my question is, if my question to this August chamber is that, do we want to free our people and live in a normal life? Because if the debacle is only health, tulong-tulungan na natin i-address yan. But of course, we are not in a capacity to give our share. Kayo ang nandyan. Kung maaari, gawan nyo naman ang paraan. Kung maaari lang. And before that, Mr. Chair, I have one personal concern with Dr. Abelia. Merong namatay, pasyente sa Baras. Nang mamatay, inilibing kaagad and was declared COVID-related death. Totoo po ba itong COVID-related death ito? Dahil kung meron, I would ask the EBMC to please certify that the patient died because of COVID para makakuha naman ng assistance sa IETF.
Please answer, Dr. Abel.
So thank you for bringing that up. Actually, meron ng press na nagtanong sa akin. So ganito po, this will be a bit long explanation para po maintindihan nyo. No? So EBMC made an isolation ward starting mga March in response to itong ang nangyaring COVID.
Direktahin mo na yung tanong ni...
So ito pong isolation na to, ibig sabihin, ang mga pasyente...
Doktora,
yes po.
Direkta na po yung sagot.
Kung
ang tanong
ito
niya,
ay
kung
COVID or hindi related death.
Direkta po. Direkta.
We signed it out sa death certificate as CVA and community-acquired pneumonia severe. So wala pong nakalagay na COVID doon.
Madali ang kuwan. Ano? Okay. So, the Honorable Arnel Torado, you recognize.
Sir, hindi pa po ako tapos. Kung hindi po COVID, bakit po we treated the patient as if it's COVID in effect? All the protocols were served. Kahilak man sa mga paryente na day lamang nahiling sa indang nanay.
So yun po yung explanation ko before because of the nature of this disease, ngayon po maraming, ang unang tanong, bakit sa Maynila ang daming mga doktor na namatay, healthcare workers? Because they handled patients na hindi nila nasuspetsa may COVID. First of all, marami na ngayong presentation ng COVID, hindi lang respiratory. No, meron ang mga stroke, it's also now a presentation. Merong sumakit ang tiyan o operahan, it's also a presentation of COVID now. So kami po sa EBNC, to do our protection para sa staff, as well as to other patients, we have established the protocol na pag dumating ang pasyente and there is, based on the clinical presentation, malaki yung posibilidad na pwedeng may COVID, no? We call that the COVID suspect. We admit the patient to this isolation ward.
Doktora,
yes po.
Gusto ko yung direkta ng
yes po.
Sagot. Kasi ang tanong niya, ni PBM Tanail, para maliwanagan yung mga
yes.
Relatives noon, makakuha ng assistance from the IATF or yung sa COVID assistance.
Opo.
Ano ba talaga? Siguro ang tanong niya, magkaroon ng certification yung health, yung ABMC, yung PHO, kung ano talaga ikinamatay ng tao. Para kung COVID, makakuha din ng assistance. Yung tanong niya, ano ba talaga?
Ayun po. So CBA, bali stroke. Number 2, community-acquired pneumonia. Severe. Why can't we put COVID? Kasi po wala kaming swab testing. We are not authorized in this particular patient na mag-swab testing, which is only done by the region. Hindi po kami pwedeng magbuot na i-swab test natin to, tapos ipadala natin sa region, tapos itetest nila. Hindi po pwede yon. So we cannot say in the death certificate that this is COVID because they did not authorize the swab. Pero kami po, based on symptomatology, pwede. Pero hindi po namin sinign out yun sa death certificate. And the doctor, I talked to him kanina, we explained to the relatives na hindi ito COVID. We isolated you pero hindi COVID. Ngayon, if there's a misunderstanding in the community, hindi ko po alam kung saan po nanggaling yon.
Last question.
Given all the facts in your situation, payag din po ba kayo na maging malagay tayo under general community quarantine?
Kung payag daw po kayo.
Well, the short answer is no.
Hindi po payag sa direktora na ma-include tayo sa UCQ.
So I withdraw all my proposals to submit Catanduanes under general community quarantine. I withdraw.
Well noted. Honorable Arnel Torado, you recognize.
Siguro, Mr. Chair, sasabi ni Dr. Abilla na wala talaga tayong kakayahan ang EBMC para mag-treat ng COVID positive, kahit isang COVID positive, because we lack medicine, we lack facilities. Yung sabi nga niya, kulang talaga. So, what about the other private hospitals? Meron ba silang kakayahan or kaya ba nilang magkaroon ng kakayahan na mag-treat kahit isang positive lamang?
Listen, sir.
I think sila na lang ang sumagot. Well, patients have been...
In your opinion.
They are referring their patients to us.
Okay. So, if that's the case, I will also ask our chairman o Committee on Health na kung wala talaga tayong kakayahan, so there's a need na mag-create tayo ng committee na talagang who can comply the requirement. Para kung dumami man ito or hindi naman natin pinagdadasalan or kahit meron isang case na positive, ay mairaos man natin, na matreat natin at gumaling. Kasi kung wala yon, it's useless. Na marami tayong pinag-uusap-usapan dito. We are appropriating amount of money kung saan-saan natin pinupunta. In fact, sa relief lang, marami na tayong na-spend. Pero yung pinaka-main purpose pala natin, which is to treat even one positive, ay hindi pala natin kaya. So it is very much necessary na mag-create tayo ng committee.
We'll submit it to the chairman
yes.
on Health, Committee on Health.
Who could comply.
Thank you.
Na magkaroon man lang tayo ng isang capability na makatreat man lang.
Thank you. The Honorable Alan Del Valle, last...
Tanong ko lang, Dr. Abella, gaano katotoo na nire-recommenda ng Rural Health Unit ng Virac si patient 25 because she has unstable blood pressure. Gaano katotoo na gustong i-confine ng RHU sa ABMC, tumatanggi kayo? Gaano katotoo? Yung patient 25.
Kagabi po, they coordinated with us. Ang sabi namin, there's a process
Is it
of
true or
decontamination.
not true na tinatanggihan nyo?
Ang sabi po namin is we don't have available beds last night. Wala pong kama. Ngayon, do you want to hear a bit longer para maintindihan niyo po kung ano yung sitwasyon? Kasi this is not black
Kasi
and white.
ang sitwasyon kasi, Doktora, yung COVID-25, accordingly, tested negative already. Di ba? Ngayon lang, ay problema lang ngayon, erratic yung kanyang blood pressure. So, pag erratic ang blood pressure ng isang tao, nangangailangan niya ng medical attention. Pumunta sa inyo, nire-recommend ng RHO, ba't ayaw niyong tanggapin? Para i-refresh ko lang yung question, bakit ayaw tanggapin?
Sir, gusto niyo maintindihan yung sitwasyon. I talked to the one who is handling this patient. This doctor has a mental health training. Ang diagnosis niya is anxiety. Kinakabahan ng pasyente because doon daw sa facility, mag-isa lang siya, walang security guard. Yung sa pagkain, hindi ko alam kung hindi ba masarap o late dumadating.
So, ibig sabihin, naniwala kayo doon sa sinabi ng doktor without even taking a complete or thorough evaluation of the condition of the patient? Naniwala ka na lang sa sinabi ng isang doktor?
Siyempre po.
Oh my goodness.
Siya po ang doktor eh.
So, ibig sabihin, pag may nagsabi sa iyo, huwag niyong tatanggapin kasi COVID na rin, kahit hindi mo naniwala kayo? Dapat tinitingnan nyo rin muna yung pasyente.
Hindi po, this patient is not being attended. Remote lang po ang ano talaga, per
Di ba,
protocol.
excuse me, Doktora, di ba very clear sa atin yung sinasabi ni President Duterte na lahat ng
Walang
hospital,
tatanggihan na
walang
pasyente.
tatanggihan. Dapat lahat.
That's very clear.
Walang tatanggihan.
Kahit sino pang magsabi,
Yun
walang
sinabi.
tatanggi.
So, di ba tayo nag-violate doon sa sinasabi ni...
Ang sinabi po namin, we don't have an available bed because we are decontaminating the beds. Na po. And ang concern ko po,
Negative na nga, doktora.
ang concern ko po dun sa pasyente, actually, before pa siya tinanggal sa bahay niya, my concern is, this patient has been asymptomatic for 30 days na more. From the time she was discharged in EBMC noong March 19, wala po siyang sintomas. Ngayon, we will transfer her to a facility na hindi naman ganun kaayos, hindi ganun kahanda. We will be creating more, sabi ko, mas matotoxic tong pasyenteng to, mas magkakasakit yan.
Doktora, anyway, di ba sa suggestion from the Honorable Arnel Torado na mag-create tayo ng committee to cater this issue, this problem. The Honorable Santos Api, you are recognized.
Yes, thank you for that recommendation by our PBM Torado and the chair that we will make a committee for that problem. And after this discussions, I did remember my few first resolutions as a PBM. Na ang problemang ito ay dahil sa matagal ng kakulangan ng manpower, ng mga gamit, pasilidad sa EBMC. Kaya po gusto ko ulit i-remind na sana ang August bading mga kasamahan ko sumang-ayon doon sa una kong resolution na i-revert back natin ang provincial hospital na tinatawag na Eastern Bicol Medical Center na hindi naman medical center. Para ang mga problemang ito, hindi lang sa laban na ito ngayon sa COVID, para ma-ready natin ang probinsya sa health services sa future war kung ano pa man ang sakit na darating sa atin. So, for this, I submit a resolution. The title will just be to revert back the provincial hospital.
Already that resolution, Honorable Sapi.
Yes?
You filed it already.
Yes, I will recall the resolution kasi natingga.
Anyway, tatawag ka naman ng meeting baga as requested by the Honorable Arnel Torado. Siguro by Wednesday, and calling the attention of all the health officials as well as the members of this August body. And if needed, na talaga punta tayo, magkaroon tayo ng actual inspection doon. Magkaroon ng inspection, na magpumunta ang lahat na members sa Sangguniang Palawigan sa EBMC para matingnan talaga kung ano talaga. Kung may kakayan talaga o hindi. Para matapos sa itong issue to, maibalik na sa nasyonal itong EBMC. Kung ano talaga.
Yes, copy, Mr. President.
Thank you.
Thank you for that.
So, siguro, diyan nagtatapos ang ating question hour. Marami pa tayong itatalakay. At antayin na lang natin yung ipapatawag ni Dr. Santos Api by Wednesday. What is the...
This is in connection with what's happening. Kasi napapansin ko, Your Honor, ang napapahiya dito, ang administrasyon.
Yes.
Tayo kasali, gobernador kasali. Parang lumalabas, based sa statement ni Dr. Abella, walang ginagawa ang gobyerno. Parang walang ginagawa kasi lahat ng sinasabi niya, kulang, walang ganyan. We have approved the allocation of 36 million. Doon sa, galing sa national government, yung one-half month era ng Catanduanes. Is that one-half of 1 month? One-half of 1 month. Binigay sa atin, ang amount is 36,400,000 plus. Purposely, para lang yung sa ma-address yung COVID positive. Actually, Nakakita ko na ang dami-daming PRs.
Kaya nga sabi ko
Just for
kanina.
Ngayon, kasi ang point ko lang dito, Your Honor, kawawa naman ni acting governor.
Kaya nga,
Kawawa naman tayo na ginagawa natin ang lahat, ina-approve natin lahat ng request, lahat ng hinihingi nila, pinagbibigyan, and then suddenly sasabihin, wala kaming kakayahan. Ano yan?
Kaya nga
What's
sabi
up,
ko, hinga natin siya ng written explanation, official, para
kasi
meron
dapat,
tayong
dapat maging malinaw din to kasi kawawa naman yung
Yes,
acting
yes,
governor.
oo.
Kawawa tayo, lalo na. Para tayong mga siraulo na approve ng request ng gobernador, wala naman palang napupuntahan na maganda.
Pinupuntahan,
Look at that, anong klase ito? Ano? What are we doing here? See, kung wala talaga, dapat kung alam ni doktora kung ano yung mga kailangan, doon sa 36 million, first things first. Alin ba ang dapat unahin? Hindi naman yan masabi. Ang ginawa nila, nagkasakatakot-takot na PR, mga medisina. Ando, pero sasabihin niya, pag magkaroon ka ng medicine, sasabihin, yung kwarto hindi appropriate. Parang hindi ginagawa ng gobernador, ng acting gobernador, yung kanyang trabaho. Kasi lumalabas na. Hindi na-address yung pangangailangan ng ospital. Samantalang, napagbibigyan man natin. Lahat ginagawa natin. What is the problem?
So, by Wednesday, sabi ko nga, magpapatawag si Dr. Sapi, si PBM Sapi ng meeting involving all the members of this august body as well as the health officials in our province, including the governor, acting governor maybe, during the meeting. Para matapos na talaga to. Kung ano talagang ginawa, hingin natin yung ano nang nagawa doon sa pirang binigay natin, ano ang ginawa doon, ano ang ginamitan, nagamitan. So, by Wednesday po, nanawagan pa ko sa inyo, I appeal to you, to the members, please attend the meeting to be called by the chairman committee. Wednesday, Doc, PBM Sapi, what time? Wednesday morning, 9 o'clock? 9 o'clock. 9 o'clock in the morning, Mr. Secretary. The Secretary is directed to invite all concerned, the health officials, the PHO, the DOH, the head of the hospital, ano pa. So siguro si PBM Sapi na ang magkukuha kung ano pang patatawagan. So okay na po. So thank you very much Dr. Abilia sa panahon na binigay mo. Okay na kasi Wednesday meeting naman tayo eh. Sa Wednesday pag-meeting tayo ulit. Po. Sige po. Thank you very much. What is that?
On that meeting, I will be happy to know the plan,
yes,
making EBMC health ready for addressing this pandemic so that we can push through our application to consider Catanduanes into general community.
Dapat dala nila sa Wednesday. Dala na nila doktora yung action plan. Ano? Yung action plan, dala nila.
Kung pwede, ito ang EBMC, handa kami. Ito yung pera, handa kami. Pwede ba bigyan nyo na kami ng general quarantine?
So Wednesday, please prepare that, Dr. Abilia. Okay, thank you. Thank you. 1 minute recess.